Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be showing you how to check for red mite on the chickens. This is a question what I get asked a lot. So what you do, first thing you want to do is you want to take out where they perk at night, which is here. Look. Here's the perk, so you literally want to grab it. But I think he's going to try and pick me, so you better go up there. What you want to do is pick up the perk, right? And shut the door, otherwise they'll be out. And then what you want to do is just look round it. And then I'm not obviously going to do it, but what you do, right, is because what I normally do with mine, I'll put it on it, is what you do is you make these so that they turn on it. So when you're checking for a red mite, what you do is you'd pull these out. And what I normally do, I sort of if there's some mite there, what I normally do is I sort of get one of them like paint stripper hot things, and then just put it over the top of where the mite are, and it kills them, you see. Because with red mite, what they do is they like to hide in between like the cracks there. You can see there's a crack here, so that's where they'd be hiding, but you don't really get them in the winter time, so that's the good thing about the winter time. You don't get any mite or nothing. And then yeah, so that's that. And I always make sure that I make it quite long as well, because chickens are known to sort of move about when they're sleeping. So I made it about that long. Made it about that long. So yeah, when they're sitting on there, they've got plenty of room to move. Because yeah, if there's anyone on there who keeps chickens, you'll know that chickens are ones to move about in the night. So yeah, you put that back in there, and then also what you do is you sort of, if you're looking for red mite, you'll sort of run your hand up and down here, because with a red mite they're black mite, and well yeah, they're black until they start feeding. To what that means is when they're first born they're black, and once they start once they get onto a chicken and yeah. And once they feed off a chicken, they turn red, you see. And that's what they do. They try and suck blood out of chickens. That is what they do, which isn't very good. But we all get them at some point. It's just how it goes. You can't really be free of red mite. They're just one of them things what you have to put up with chickens, I'm afraid. And the same up here. With these ones, I've done it a bit differently. They've got two bits of wood. Look at him. Yeah, they got two bits of wood to sit on instead of like one, because the thing is there you got a gap, and that's going to attract them, you see. So I'll get him back in there. Yeah, so I thought, well, with them ones I'll try that out. I've never really done it that way before, having two bits of wood standing there, but I thought, well, that'll be alright. Hey, say hello to the subscribers. But yeah, that's how I've done it. Now going to clean them out in that. But yeah, I'll clean them out in a minute. That is how you check for red mite. I'll obviously do some more how to do videos if you want to know how I do other bits. I'll just show you some of the not chemicals, but some of the things I use to make my chickens look well if I'm going to show them and stuff. First thing what I use is this stuff. That is a Vit Boost. You put that in the water. Obviously you squeeze it like I'm doing now until that go into the top bit, and then once that's in the top bit you put it in the water, and that's good for like making the feathers shiny, that sort of stuff. It's like a vitamin thing. I've got some of this stuff, scaly leg remover. That's another thing you get with chickens. There's all sorts of things you have to battle with when you got chickens. Scaly leg, what that is, that's like a mite, and it gets underneath the scales of the chickens and under the scales of their feet. And the only thing with the scaly leg is you can't really take it off because they lift up the scales and that hurt them, you see. But yeah, if you spray some of that stuff on, that normally helps. Or what I've heard as well, here's another tip for you all. If you've got birds like pekins, if you type them in the internet, they're like a Chinese bird. I had them before, and they're yeah, pekins, P-E-K-I-N-S. They're Pekin bantams. I've had some of them before. And they got feathered legs, you see, so they get scaly leg quite a bit because their legs are all covered up, you see. They ain't getting no air to them. And what I've found is good is this. It's just surgical spirit. It's meant to be for bed sores and hardened skin. If you put that on their feet, you'll be surprised. Thing is, it doesn't sort of cure it overnight. It's not like a thing, curing scaly leg isn't a thing what happens overnight. It happens sort of over time. It can take 3 or 4 months for that stuff to work, but that's really good. And that don't normally come back after after their feet had a coat of that. But that's just what I've had. Here's my other stuff. I'll just show you a few different bits. These are just my they're what I call my heating pads. So what you do is when the chicks are hatched, what I normally do is I plug them in, and they sort of go under there for a bit of heat. Only thing is though, they're contact pads. They don't sort of what's the word? They don't sort of reflect any heat off. So what I normally use, if I have chicks, I have their heat lamp what they go under, and then I have a heat pad when they get a bit older, because as they get older they don't need as much heat and they can just have a heat pad. But yeah, and then they got this stuff what I'll show you in the last video. Just my seed what I use. And all sorts. I've even got a Christmas tree in here, look. But yeah, I've got little drinkers and stuff when I have baby chicks and stuff. I've got all sorts of stuff here. What else have I got? Not a lot. That's about it really. I've got lights set up in here. So obviously what I do is, if that's winter time, and thing is, the reason you have a light is because if you want chickens to lay in the winter, what chickens have to, with chickens, if you want them to lay in the winter, they have to have 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness, because that's how a chicken works. If they haven't got that much daylight, they won't lay. So if I wanted them to lay in the winter time, all I'd have to do is set it on a timer so they get 12 hours of daylight. Well, more than that, about 13 or 14 hours of daylight, and then about 10, 11 hours of darkness. So they'd lay then. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be long till some of these start laying. As you can see, they're really going for their food. That's normally a good sign that they're going to start to lay. Obviously the cockerel ain't gonna lay, but but the chick should. I mean the chicken should. But yeah, and what I use for bedding is I use this stuff behind here. That's called bed down cozy chicken. Yeah, that is literally what I use. That's good stuff. Well, I've found that to be the best stuff. You can get other brands and stuff, but I think this is the best. It's quite an expensive one, but I think that's about the best. Because the thing is, with some of the other stuff, with this stuff, they chop it up as chopped straw. Otherwise, you can just buy a bale of straw, barley or wheat straw, but I find that stuff to be a lot better and a lot easier to use. Yeah, and now I obviously got a few other different bits what I give them. Yeah, they aren't too bad. They're alright, aren't they? There's lots of people who like to see them, so I like to film them and that sort of thing. I get asked a lot of questions about them, so I just thought I'd do that little how-to video on how to look for red mite. So yeah, literally what you do is you look on the perks, look for any gaps. You can see there's a little tiny gap in that bit of wood there, if that'll focus. There's a little gap in between there. And what you do is you'd sort of you'd get your sort of paint stripper thing and sort of run it down there. Obviously take it out first, and then you'd yeah, to get rid of the mite there. Because trust me, this might sound a bit rude, but honestly, if you've ever had chickens, you've had red mite. If you haven't seen them, they're definitely there, because yeah, we all get them. Know what you're saying? Hello. But yeah, we all get red mite at some point. It's not a bad thing to admit to. We all get them. You can't help it. They're there in the summertime, and I always say, if you've got chickens, you're gonna have some red mite. Well, not all the time. I ain't had any for years and years, because I obviously keep on top of it. But now and then you'll see a few. But yeah, just thought I'd do that little how-to video on just how to look for them. See, that's them. They're fairly happy. They seem alright. In another month or so, I might take them back to where they were in the summertime in their big runs. And I've got all these sort of things. That's what I use to put my chickens in. They're like carrying boxes. They got like a thing at the front, and what you do is they lift up and then you can get a bird in them. That one at the bottom has got 2 sections. That's got 1 section, that one. This one at the top here. And that's 2 sections, that one at the bottom. And you can get 2 chickens in there. So yeah, they're certainly doing well. I get lots of nice messages from them saying that they're really pretty and stuff like that. I try to make them as... I try to look after them... Shush. I try to look after them as best as I can. They have sort of the best food I can sort of get, really. And yeah, we're not doing too bad. So that's pretty much the end of this video, guys. I just thought I'd just show you how to look for red mite. And as I say, one of the biggest tips I would say is to just obviously, if there's any gaps in like the wood where they live, and always check in there, and also check in the straw. Take the straw out, look underneath the straw, see if you can see any there. All you got to do is run your finger across it, and you'll know if that's a red mite, because when you rub your finger against it, it'll be like some blood come out. So yeah, that's a good way to tell. Sort of run your fingers along any of, like in them sort of places you could get them, and sort of along them wood bits at the back, and you just run your finger along them. And if you run your finger along and there's blood on your finger, you know that's a red mite. So yeah, I think that's about it for today, guys. Thanks everyone for coming in to support the channel. Really appreciate it. Remember to give me a thumbs up and a comment and a subscribe if you like what you saw. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye bye for now. Thanks for tuning in.